Thatch, what do you have to get be a real good pitcher, we'll say, today?
First thing is control, to throw the ball where you want to throw it. You don't need but one ball. I hear kids with a slider, knuckleball, and a screwball, and a nightmare, and a 40 creep, and all those different balls. But if you just got one that you can get over any time you want and throw where you want to, Jack, you don't need but the one.
For those they can't see, I'm wearing my Kaepernick.
Your Kaepernick, yes.
The Menace to Society hat. So, you know, it's all pro-black.
I was going to say, you got messaging gear on today.
And I don't know what's in the tea. I'm like the Richie guy at the gym last night. He said, I took some supplements and he's throwing barbells and stuff. So for those watching, first off, I got called a coon. I should have listened better to what you were saying. I said we're going to interview Gary Owen tonight last Friday. So I posted the interview and I had to shut down the comments. I guess I'm forever stuck in the Negro Leagues. I'm the Satchel Paige of black independent film. Because my peoples love me so much that they don't want me to cross over. They don't want me to say anything that's a little outside of their purview.
You got disinvited from the cookout for posting an interview with Gary Owen.
I like Gary Owen, and if you don't like Gary Owen, you can unsubscribe now to the channel. He had a lot of insight in terms of how social media works and different things.
If you broke and white in this country, that's your fault.
Right.
I don't give homeless white people money. I'm like this, you can get a job.
Right.
All this shit was all set up for you to make it. You know what I mean? You got no excuse to be a grown white man with no employment.
I'll take him over Blackson any day. You can get Michael Blackson tickets, by the way, on Groupon. That's the best way to see Michael Blackson. Although I would say that Groupon, you'll be way in the back. So he may just look like a dark spot.
You know what?
Crossing across.
Stop.
Across the screen.
You really about
he
to
makes
go.
fun. He makes fun of his own race. That's why I don't like him.
Gucci man, I know he's not African, man. You look African. Gucci man look like a big ass roach. Flavor Flav is not my uncle. That nigga so ugly. When I stand next to him, I'm a dying piece, motherfucker.
He talks about people.
I hear that. And listen, I'm no defender.
I'm not understanding Kanye.
I don't even know his material well enough to try and
now
defend
you're sounding
him.
like the people that were coming after me on my.
No. I'm just saying that
we take Blackson's side over Gary Owen.
I'm from Africa. Last time I went home, I went to the slave castle, and I saw how they were. I learned how they were captured, and it was not by choice, you know.
But. So the conversation that surrounds Gary Owen is the agency, right? Yes.
Because
now I will take Gary Owen over Michael Rappaport, but that's another conversation.
In the draft,
the whole idea.
Everybody loved Gary Owen until this one thing that he did.
Well, I mean, no, I wouldn't say that.
Okay,
there's a couple of things, but. The conversation that has surrounded them is white men with black wives. How much a kind of area do you get to talk about your relationship as sort of a central point of knowledge about how black folks do?
Yes.
And so people feel that Gary Owen is funny, but some people question whether he takes his own relationship experience and owns that a little too much to say he has full insight into black folks, how we do and how we should be,
right,
and what he feels empowered to say.
Well, I definitely got a punch mark against my card last week. I guess I need to go back and reread the chapter on who can use the N-word and who can't, and who's allowed to put out songs called Designer Caskets and who can't, and who can glorify genocide and
okay, I'm not hip. Designer Caskets?
That's the big record that Birdman and Manny Fresh they reunited. Birdman finally paid Manny Fresh, and their first single, their video directed by Benny Boom, Philly's own, is Designer Caskets.
I send them back in a designer casket, wrapped in plastic. I send them back in a designer casket, wrapped in plastic. Drag him from the river, dump his body in the yard. Note around his neck saying, get right with the Lord. Note around his neck saying, get right with the Lord. Get right with the Lord. get right with the law.
And basically, it's how I'm gonna shoot you and wrap you up in plastic, and you're gonna need a designer casket.
Of course, our own people saw our people, and you know they had guns, and they had. It's like somebody, you know, you can't fight a gun.
And then they have a comedian. It's sort of like making fun of the first 48. That's the premise of the video.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's like, hey, I'm not snitching, man. You know, I took cases. My granddad and my great granddaddy.
Listen, my brother in jail, my cousin in jail, my god brother in jail. Listen, my great grandfather was the first nigga to ever get a drug charge for his slave owner. He took his slave owner charge. So legacy. That's how I'm living. Yeah, legacy.
Okay, so we're gonna give this genocide 2 million views, right, and say, hey, it's great that they're back. And it's like, well, wait, no, I don't subscribe to that.
Where the single ladies in the house? You wanna have a baby by me and be a millionaire? You hear my baby, you be a broke bitch, motherfucker. All your baby gonna have is some dashiki pull-ups.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. And whether a comedian who knowingly pushes a button and explains that Blackson and Gary Owen were in on it together. They planned and strategized the whole, you know, roasting campaign. They went over what they're going to say about each other and sort of check the jokes.
Never compare your relationship with anybody else's, because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
15 years of marriage. Listen to this, man.
Yeah.
I think we're a little too PC. Now, when it comes to blackness, look, maybe I need to reread that chapter.
When you're white in this country, you're taught that everything belongs to you. You think you have a right to everything. You have a right to go where you, I mean, you're conditioned this way. It's not, you know, because you know, your hair is a texture or your skin is light. It's the fact that the laws and the culture tell you this. You have a right to go where you want to go, do what you want to do, be however, and people just got to accommodate themselves to you. So here comes this word that, you know, you feel like you invented. And now somebody will tell you how to use a word that you invented. You know, why can't I use it? Everyone else gets to use it. You know what? That's racism that I don't get to use it. You know, that's racist against me.
I don't know that we're necessarily...
To explain to the listeners. So basically, Gary Owen and Michael Blackson were going back and forth, insulting one another on Instagram. And the final insult that Blackson says, I bet you won't call me the N-word. So Gary Owen made a video where he said, I'm not going to call you this, but I'm getting my wife to do it. And she says it repeatedly.
Oh, Lord.
Right. And so a lot of people take offense at that. It's like, well, now, and he got called all kinds of names and he got dragged. And then in my, you know, subsequent interview, I get dragged for having him on my channel, which represents all this blackness. So.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you catching me up.
Every time I go in, we don't have but one run, and see, I can't show nothing up right there. And I got to go down with what I've been had for a couple of spells, you know. That's the fastball.